Hello, everybody. Welcome to Game 2 of the DreamLeague Season 13, best of 3 for the group stage between Reality Rift and IG. IG dropped Game 1, surprisingly. My name is Sunsfan. Joining me is Kezu. Are you expecting a different outcome? Call the winner of this game right now before the picks are made. We'll
IG, let's go.
IG. All right, so we're going to Game 3, guys. You heard it here first.
Yep. Calling it.
We're not going to see an Omni Knight this time.
10 seconds
Very
remaining.
surprising.
I mean, if you lose to a first pick Omni Knight, that kind of haunts you. I think that kind of messes with you in the head. So yeah, just ban it. I'm alright with that.
I think if they're going with that logic, then I feel like Vengeful Spirit might be on their list as well. That hero had a huge impact.
That could very well be. I mean, I'm not quite sure how they rate heroes. I think last game IG banned. I think they banned Trion Doom and one more hero. I don't quite recall. So this game, I mean, their first pick, so they're probably gonna ban some different heroes. They already banned Omni, which obviously wasn't banned last game either. So I don't know what plan they have for this game, but I guess we'll find out in a moment. All right. First phase ban Skyref. I have not seen this in years.
They found out about that talent and they couldn't handle it.
Yeah.
Goodness me, oh my. I'm looking at the bans real quick from the last game. Just so it was Treant, Doom, Io, and then Viper.
So
Huskar,
IG banned those, right? IG banned 3 Doom Io.
Yes.
Yeah.
5 seconds remaining.
I didn't even realize Huskar got banned in the first phase. Is that normal now? That's really
No,
weird.
I wouldn't say so. I think I touched on it just very shortly last game. I was like, these bans are kind of weird. So maybe I don't know if they have some intel on the team or like if they scrimmed them. Because the first phase Huskar ban it's kind of weird. It might just mean that they don't really have a good hero pool to deal with it. So even if they pick it like early on or midway through the draft, Reality Rift might just have problems dealing with it simply because of the hero pool on their mid laner or whatever like that.
Right.
Radiant team
Interesting. I mean, they did pick TA. That would have completely dumpstered TA in lane, in theory.
Yeah.
But they did pick TA pretty late, so I don't know.
So they banned 3 heroes that were played in the last game. That's kind of interesting.
So that means Huskar is in the pool right now, Wyvern is in the pool, and I think Doom is not banned yet.
10 seconds
Goodness.
Not
I
yet,
know Doom is super powerful right now.
I'm not quite sure how high people rate the Doom. I mean, he got nerfed, semi-nerfed. I think he lost some strength and his Scorched Earth is a bit worse. But the hero's definitely still good. Most certainly.
Yeah, it was not like a nerf hammer, to be sure.
Yeah.
Definitely more on the OD side, who we saw still, did well last game, despite not ever buying a BKB.
I kind of wonder what IG are picking here. When they were second pick, they last banned Io, which to me means that they respect the hero. Now their first pick, I wonder if they want to grab it themselves, at least if they play it. I'm not sure. At least in some of the other series, we've seen some Io. I think 2 other games right now had Io. I think both TNC and EG. But they're already dipping into the reserve time. Alright, Venge it is.
So they're going to pick Venge for themselves this time.
I see what strat they're going for. You banned 3 heroes they had last game, and now you pick 2 that they had as well.
All right, so what
you
else do we
notify
have
them
now?
having the same draft.
So we're going to have
What's missing?
Well, Omni Knight was banned,
TA.
Slark, TA.
10 pick TA.
Hey, it synergizes well with Venge, right? You got the minus armor. Why
It
not?
does. If they had Weeha in their team, they will probably do it.
Weeha has 5 heroes, so it's not too difficult.
Let's see.
All right, Rubik again. So they opened last game. Let me find it again here.
Dire team pick.
It was not Abaddon, but they did have Rubik. So Abaddon, we talked about last game being a popular pick just internationally, but it was not picked or banned last game at all. And we're seeing it second picked here.
Yeah, I think last game, since one team had Omni, they just, I guess Omni, people prefer Omni over Abba. I'm not sure. At least Reality Rift did in that game. Also, something to note here is that Slark is already banned. So you pick Abba like this and they can't pick Slark. What did they go for?
Ooh.
Morph is pretty decent too. Venge Morph. I mean, Venge is just really good with a lot of these range carries. Like, if you don't have a safe lane range carry, I think you want to have it out of your mid, which is what they did last game. You know, they had a safe lane Slark, but then their mid was a TA or a Shadow Fiend of that manner. But now they have Morph, so that's already pretty good.
What hero, I guess OD could be on this list, but against Morphling, what's your counters?
My counter to Morph. Yeah, well, OD would be one of the first ones. I think AM is really good. PL is very strong. Kind of has trouble dealing with those.
What do you think of Doom as a semi-counter, at least?
10 seconds remaining.
Doom is pretty good. I think Ricky should be pretty good.
Oh, yeah.
Personally, I like Puck too, because you just coil him, he can't waveform. I don't know if I'm missing any obvious ones, but those would be kind of like my nice counters. I used to like Magnus lineups against Morph, because you farm really fast with your carry, whoever it is that goes up against Morph. And then RP is kind of hard to deal with for Morphling, because first of all, you don't like buying BKB, and BKB isn't good against RP. Your Manta doesn't save you. And you don't really like to be hard locked down for, more than like 2 seconds or whatever. You might just die.
5 seconds remaining.
It should be interesting to see what they actually end up countering with. TA is actually going to be banned out from IG. Would not consider that.
They can't have any of the last game's heroes.
That's so 4 bans, taking out their lineup from last game and then picking the Venge for themselves.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie.
Let's see if they are victorious.
I have never seen this before. Like, typically, like, especially if you're casting like Puppy, for example, he will purposely leave the same heroes in and prove that he can beat them, right? Yeah. And you see that like a lot of these captains have kind of that mentality. But seeing a captain like, fuck that, just get rid of all of them. I don't think I've ever seen that before. That's so weird.
Yeah. I think it's kind of like, if you feel like that it's their comfort, then that's one reason. Or second, if you think that you're a better team and they kind of cheesed you with their heroes, I think those will be the main reasons why you do it. Another pick that is okay for Reality Rift would be Elder Titan. He's at least really good against Morph. I'm not too sure if I like the pick here, because if you do that, then you kind of lock your ABBA on the 3 position right now. Since you're
you've never seen carry Elder Titan, Kazu?
I actually have not. But that hero can be a core pretty easily right now with his new Ags. It's pretty strong.
It has looked pretty strong in pubs. I don't know how it translates to pro games, but
yeah,
it's kind of funny.
I've yet to see a core ET in a pro game, at least lately.
Well, they're going to take a Bane Elemental instead.
That's interesting.
So lots of single target. Not a whole lot of AoE to speak of right now from Reality Rift.
Yeah. I would kind of assume that they want Bane to go to the Morph lane, at least. I mean, Morphling is really weak in the early levels, so that's where you kind of want to look to abuse him, at least when it comes to the early stages of the game. And that's, of course, where Bane kind of, owns. Bane is super strong in the early levels especially. It's probably like the hero's best tool in the early game. It's just the strength of the laning stage.
But then you get to like the mid to late game and you're hard countered by Venge. You have 2 swaps that can cancel that bad boy.
Also, Morphling is not the easiest to deal with. At least if he goes Linken's, then Bane doesn't really have the easiest way of grabbing him. But they have the reasons to pick Bane. I don't know the hero that well. It's probably not a hero I would think about if I was drafting here. But like I said, they probably have their reasons and they'll make it work their way.
IG will pick up a Tusk. I was looking at some of the history between these teams, and Tusk has been semi-common pickup for each respective team, especially in this region, it feels like.
I kind of like this Tusk pick, because I think right now for Reality Rift, they're kind of showing their offlaner and both their supports. And right now, I think if you're IG, you have the option of safe lane tri-laning with your Morphling. And I think it would nullify the effect of Reality Rift wanting to pressure him early on. Because I think the Venge Morph Tusk is actually pretty strong. Unless Rift start with 3 heroes in that lane as well. Like if Abba Rubik go into that lane, or Abba Bane, I think they're going to feed to IG if they play it properly on bottom. Also, Snowball is really good against Bane.
Yeah, I was going to say, the Snowball is almost like another save in the right hands.
Yeah, it is.
So Bane is just looking like the odd man out again with each respective pick. But we'll see how it works out in the actual game. So this means it's an app. I mean, is there... Okay, this is crazy talk. And Apparently, I'm more old school than you, Kezu, but Dota 1, Bane in the mid lane was a thing. And I remember
back when
they
I played
briefly
Han.
made it a thing in Dota for like a week. And I think,
Oh, really?
who was it? No one just beat the crap out of everybody, and then they nerfed him to the ground.
Oh, not bad. Back when I played a little bit of Han, that hero was sometimes played mid. The hero was obnoxious.
What was his name in Han?
Succubus, I think.
Oh, you're right. Succubus, yeah.
It looked really cool, actually, if I remember.
Yeah, it's a hot chick versus this disgusting mess that you see before you, right?
Yeah.
Much better looking hero. So it will be a PL. We talked about this already as being a decent counter to Morphling.
Yeah, it's actually because of super good.
It's like the Diffusal Blade. Is that why you just drain the mana real fast?
Yeah, like it's first of all, you burn Morph's mana, and eventually, I mean, if he can fight, sure, but eventually, if he has no mana, he can't get out. He can't use Adapt to Strike. He can't use the spells of the guy he's morphed into. And also, he has no way to deal with illusions, especially if he has no mana. And PL is also really good against Tusk and Venge.
Well, they'll counter that with an Earthshaker. So Echo Slam is a thing now.
Yeah, I like Shaker quite a lot. I've actually been playing the hero a lot recently. I have pretty good success with it, especially because these carries that people are playing right now, I think most of them don't enjoy to play against Shaker. Like, PL obviously doesn't like Shaker. You can stunlock Slark if you get him in a bad moment. Morphling 2, Anti-Mage. It just gives you like a lot of lockdown to like these elusive and evasive carry heroes that are played right now.
Mm-hmm. I feel like this draft is kind of one-sided. I don't know if you agree with me. The Reality Rift, it almost feels like they have like this cheese hero in mind that's going to bring everything together. Like I was thinking like a Brood until that Earthshaker was picked, of course. Something that just changes the way you play the game. And Arc Warden, I have no idea what it would be at this point.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to say right now. Usually at this stage, you should like the first picks draft more. Well, until you see the last pick of Reality Rift, because that's going to be their strongest pick of the draft. But I do feel like that Rift, they need quite a solid last pick. I don't know how easy it is for them. Because currently, I would like to be in IG's shoes in terms of draft-wise. Lesh is a really good ban for Rift. Once again, Lesh is just really good to deal with illusion carries or like the sustaining lineups like Omni Knight. You kind of just cut through those heroes with Lesh. Because I think IG, they're going to take one more hero. They at least need one more hero that is semi-good against PL. So they're probably going to take a mid hero. I would assume some range hero that has like some semi sort of AoE spell. Kind of looking right now what that may be. I don't know what their mid player likes to play.
Is Puck
Could
still
be
in the
Shadow
pool?
Fiend again, some stuff
Puck
like
would
that.
be really
Yeah,
good here, wouldn't it?
Puck, Shadow Fiend, especially you have Puck with you have Coil swap combo. That's pretty solid. So I could definitely see
And you
just
can't
like a range hero
doppelganger
that has
out of Coil, right?
Yeah, you can't. So it's pretty good. I would like to see Puck. SF is okay if that's one of their hero if that's one of their players' comfort. He did play it last game. You just want to make sure that you don't want to make the last pick too good for Rift. Like if you take a melee hero now, I think the last pick for Rift is too easy to abuse. Oh, they banned Puck themselves. Interesting.
Okay. So I've seen them play quite a bit of Ember Spirit, Lina. I'm not sure what position their Lina plays though.
Yeah.
A little bit of Storm Spirit as well.
Yeah. Well, Storm is not bad here.
There it is.
Makes sense. Nah, Storm is really good against both those supports. You can kind of abuse them. Storm was seen as a counter to PL a while ago. I don't know how it is nowadays because I haven't seen this matchup much, but it should still be really good for Storm. Like if you zip in from a bit of range on the PL, he just loses a lot of HP. If he already has illusions, you kind of clear them out. You can also go Axe to always, grab the rear one too in the fight.
5 seconds remaining.
And just should be solid here. I like the Storm pick by IG. I think their draft looks solid right now.
So we're waiting for the mid player right now. I mean, technically PL could play mid. We've seen that from time to time. It's not the most unusual thing.
Yeah.
But
I think it's not something they should opt for in this game. The Puck ban was really good by IG because I think that would have been the obvious pick here for Reality Rift.
Yeah, they don't really have much time either.
They could go Ember. I think it's okay to go Ember. Or they go Shadow Fiend. That's I too.
Shadow Fiend is back in the game. It lost last game in the hands of IG. We'll see if Reality Rift can do a little bit better this time.
One thing I like with Reality Rift, which is from this draft to the last one, which is very similar. They have two carries that are pretty good at like the minute, I don't know, 15 between 25. And their offlaner is a guy that empowers. Like both these offlaners they had now, Omni, Abba, they like to play with heroes after the laning stage that want to go around and fight or hit objectives. And in both these 2 games they had that. Last game they had Slark TA, this game they have PL Shadow Fiend. They both want to farm a bit and then they would like to fight if their team allows them. And with Abba Rubik, I think that's pretty
10
nice.
seconds
So I like how
remaining.
they're combining their offlane. I basically like how they're combining their core heroes.
5
I
seconds
think it's really
remaining.
nice. Makes a lot of sense.
So they're gonna have good timing in the mid game, is what you're saying.
They should. Like minute 15 to 25, if their lanes look well, Abba gets this Vlads, they could look to like force a fight on Roshan or run at the mid tower together.
Yeah, they
So
do
at
have
least
good
their core
potential.
trio makes a little sense.
What about their actual laning stage? Do you expect them to, like, the mid lane? You would think Storm is going to get a little bit bullied early on by the Shadow Fiend, but what about like
guess
whatever
it's-
lane Bane goes to? Because the Tusk
If
is
they
kind of
put-
the issue right now.
If they put Bane Abba bot into Morph, then Bane Abba would win it. But I kind of feel like that IG should consider tri-laning in the safe lane for like 1 or 2 minutes and give them Morph a head start. Shaker's also a hero that can, he can kind of be fine on his own if you use, you just Fisher block. Because I think Shaker Tusk top, it's okay, but it's not the greatest because you're double melee. So I think it would help both your Morph and your Tusk's game if they start safe lane tri-laning. Tusk might get a kill or 2, he might find a bit more purpose in the game, and then Morph shouldn't get bullied in the bot lane.
So which lineup you taking?
I actually have to load into the game because I need to see IG's heroes one more time.
Wait, this versus screen doesn't do it for you?
Now it does. Let's see. What did I say last game?
You said
I think I liked IG's
IG's
lineup last game and they lost.
Correct.
Well, I want IG's lineup to win. I mean, I actually like IG's lineup more, but maybe they're gonna lose now.
Well, just go with
I
your
think it's
heart.
kind of like last game. I think it depends a lot on timing. So I don't know if either of them have a much better draft compared to one another. I'm just a little afraid for IG that they could get run over with the timings that Reality Rift have.
I mean, if they get to mid game and it's relatively even, I think we're both taking them, right?
Yeah.
Because their lineup scales infinitely better, in my opinion. And the Bane, the longer this game goes, the more more out of place this Bane is going to be.
Yeah, it's not an easy game to play Bane.
It feels like not a, I don't know, maybe I'm just talking out of my ass. Not a great patch for Bane in general.
I'm not sure. I haven't seen the hero much. So I
Good for
can't really
Outpost,
say.
though, in theory.
Well, you sleep some dude, you ulti some other guy. Just think there's a lot of saves right now that makes Bane not that easy to play. Like all these Abbas and Omnis and Legions, they can all like dispel the stuff. Bench is pretty popular too, with Swap.
And off we go.
Whoever gets first Aegis is gonna win this game. Kind of a shitty statement, but
First
that's what I feel
Aegis. Okay.
because both teams actually have pretty good capability. Like Dire, they have Venge, Morph, Tusk. They take Roche pretty easily. Radiant, they have SF with physical damage, Aura, and then Abba, who probably has Vlads and the passive.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I'm really
Abaddon just
interested to
feels
see
very
if
strong
IG
this patch.
start. No, Abaddon is amazing, I'm certain. Because he can also be a 5, so he's kind of flexible. You can pick it early, maybe. I mean, most of the time you will see a Slark picked against it, but then you can still decide to put your Abba as a 5 and then counter the Slark with your offlane pick after.
I can't picture Kaka being anything, or not Kaka, KY actually being anything but a 3 at the moment. I don't think Bane's going to outcarry him this game, unfortunately. Unfortunately for him.
30 seconds
Does have the
to
Brain Sap
battle.
level 1 to go. Has a ward down early.
I had a
Scouts out
terrarium
Fly on the
once,
Morphling,
rather like this. Well,
who is
except
morphing
for
up
mice.
into
And
agility.
chameleon. But the possibilities for comeback.
They
600
can't
health right
really-
now.
They should not be able to kill him unless they skill lift, and I don't even know if that's worth it, if I'm gonna be honest.
If you could guarantee the kill, you wouldn't do it?
I feel like I wouldn't. I feel like that's a mistake.
Because then in the laning stage, you're like, okay, well, now I just got to
Like you,
leech
you,
till
you,
2.
you get this bit of gold, but it doesn't really hurt the morph, to be honest. Like he loses like what, I don't know how.
Where are they going?
He would lose 17 gold right now. He would just TP back to lane. So basically you trade some bonus gold that your first 2 minutes of laning is a lot worse. I feel like that's not worth it.
Do you see this aura on Kaka right now on the tusk? Oh, there
Yeah,
it is.
it's
It's
some
the bleak
weird
hallucination.
Yeah.
Wow, ethereal gem. This is before they changed it so you could do that. That's great.
Yeah, I heard some weird stuff. So what they did bottom is that the Shaker, he offensively fissured the enemy creeps, so now their first wave is running into the tower, which will
Do you like
grant
that?
them lane control. I do if the lanes were set up differently, because now they're 2-on-1, but when you do this, the guy you lane against will get level 2, in this case the PL. So you
Yeah.
get lane control, but I feel like it's a bit harder for your Tusk now to 101 the PL.
And PL
'Cause-
got every single last hit under the tower, by the way.
Yeah,
So that was pretty
because
good.
I think this would make a lot of sense if the Shaker is alone and you safe lane tri-lane, the thing I mentioned earlier. Because then, if they were against 2, the Shaker that is, then he will just have lane control now. But that's not the case. Actually, Reality Rift are tri-laning on onto Dire.
They sure are. So Fade Bolt's at its ready.
Yeah, Morphling does not enjoy this. Let me tell you that. Not one bit.
I don't think anyone enjoys this, including the viewers. Tri-lanes, that is. Tri-lanes have been the worst. When that was
if
a
there's a
thing
lot of
every
kills, I
single
think
game.
it's fine. I kind
Yeah,
of
what
like
do you think?
tri-lanes.
What? All right, you're gonna
Yeah.
have to explain yourself now.
Why do I like tri-lanes? Well, if I'm in the
Yeah.
tri-lanes, there's a lot of kills. And if I'm not in the tri-lane, I get to 1-on-1, which means I have a good
true.
game. Like I get
Yeah,
to
for the
play my
off-lane
Dota game.
player. Yeah, no, I can
Yeah, it's
see
really
that.
nice. I mean, fuck the carry. I don't care what he wants.
Yeah, I
Oh,
hear
mid
that.
lane.
Yeah. Oh, Alacrity gets a couple of raises off. Here comes Kaka. Does have the ice shards there to help get first blood. And that actually is a very easy kill. A little bit out of position for the Shadow Fiend.
Yeah.
First blood
Shadowfiend
goes
just
away
tried
at
to
IG.
play his power. He had like 3 or 4 stacks of raises. That's on top. We have a bit of harass, but doesn't look like it's gonna be a kill.
Morphling does
Or
a
maybe it
decent
is,
amount
they're
of
still
right click
fighting.
damage. Abaddon's just
Yeah.
farming away to his heart's content, though. So I think even
Yeah.
if they end up trading, that is super okay from Reality Rift's side.
One thing to mention about the mid kill is that first of all, it's a really heads up TP by Kaka to go mid. And at the end, the Storm, he sidestepped the mid-range raise by SF, and he would have died if that hit. So it was a heads-up play for him to know that that's the one he had up next. Because he had like 3 or 4 stacks of raises on him, he would have just evaporated to that one raise if it hit. They're gonna try to go mid again.
Well, the TP in again, like you said, Kaka. But now the counter TP from Nuts, who just has a brain sap, so we'll just TP for moral support if nothing else, then walk back to top. Fade Bolt in
Yeah.
top lane. Firefly pretty low. Morph back up a little bit. Gets telekinesis
Firefly.
back into the fray of things, though. And we'll safely waveform away.
I guess we have a name change on Morphling. He's Firefly now.
Wait, what did I... Fly?
Yeah.
God damn it.
No
Firefly.
worries. I like
Only he was
Batrider too.
playing Bat Rider. It would have made it so
Yeah.
much easier. Well, looks like Tusk has come to play again. We'll be focusing on KYXY for now. Ollie does have the... No, actually does not have mana to stun right now, but KYXY is getting extremely low. Waveform is there, and that is a kill for Fly, playing the
There we
Morphling.
go. Kaka is owning right now.
Yeah, he's doing quite well. We'll get Nightmared up, and will likely die. Telekinesis will
It's
ensure the
okay.
kill.
He's still owning. It's okay.
Ownage player.
Yeah.
When you can say you're owning and you die, and still say you're owning, then you feel pretty good about yourself.
Yeah, then you're doing well.
Oh, Vengeful
Bench
Spirit
died.
actually died. Wow, that was surprising. Through the trees.
Yeah, I didn't
So,
quite
2 to
catch
2.
how it happened. Maybe he just wanted to die. I think he was pretty low. So, probably not the
Fly,
craziest
fly.
stuff.
Looking for Hustler, but we'll have to get some regen inside
That's
of him
not
soon.
his raindrop. Oh, he just brought him the mid player's raindrop.
Uh-oh. That's not good. It's going to be
Yeah,
a
that's
long
fine.
trek away. Looks like
I guess
Nuts will
they
take out
both
the courier.
dropped items to the supports. I think,
Hmm.
like both the Morph and the Storm had some items in this.
So Fly right now on the Morphling 6 and 2 in CS. So despite getting a couple of kills here, that is disastrous for him. But we'll waveform in for a second kill. KYXY looks quite healthy. 1v3 right now.
Yeah.
So who do
These
you
kills
favor
are really
in this early stage? Despite
in
these
this
kills,
early
is it enough?
stage.
Like if
I don't
you're
know if I
Morphling, are you
favor
okay with
either
the
that-
not CS right now? Not having a ton of CS?
I mean, since you have these 2 kills, I think you feel okay.
Mhm.
And then the next thing you should think about, how well is your Shaker doing? Because I think Shaker is going to be your biggest tempo hero in the game. I mean, unless Storm goes off a lot, and there's a gank on mid.
There sure
Oh, no,
is.
this is enough.
Vengeful Spirit is here. They've done most of their damage, and KYXY actually TPs in with the Aphotic Shield. They're going to take out the Storm Spirit. Vengeful Spirit looks to be next. The Spirit, they're not really siblings, but for now they are, because they go to the grave
Alright,
together.
tip your Abaddon, guys. People in Reality Rift, they should tip a KYXR right now. That was a really nice teleport.
That's the offlane player, too. You don't see that as
Yeah,
often.
it's not very usual you see this play. So not only did this save SF and give them a double kill, it also allowed Rubik to lane top and get some space, which I'm sure he feels good about too. So that was probably the best play they had in that scenario, like to TP that exact hero into the mid lane. It's very nice.
KYXY has now returned to the offlane, and it feels like Morphling has been at no HP this entire game, despite being 2-0, so it hasn't really hurt him in that regard. Nuts looking to potentially... I'm not sure what he was doing here, actually, but he will be found by Emo, as well as Kaka, and that is going to be an easy kill, but Alacrity is here. In fact, Bane will live thanks to that wand charge. Very surprising that actually worked out for him.
Yep, stick charge, fairy fire, and then he gets off the turnaround brain sap. Not bad.
Good stuff.
Yeah, it kind of looked like a wonky play. I think he just wanted to like run after Storm because he's still level 5 and pressure him a bit. Well, it turned out great.
And we haven't really talked about this bottom lane a whole lot, but the PL right now 29-1 versus the Earthshakers 37-15. 16 now.
I think
That's
they're
very good.
both. PL is kinda okay, but Shaker is very happy. If you're Dire here, I think you should look to play off of the Shaker right now. Like if Storm can get mana and has a TP ready, they can literally kill the PL at any point. But SF is looking for a nice move up top.
He gets one raise off, but not following up with anything else. Curse of Avernus onto the tower. It's going to be pretty difficult for IG to get this tower saved, at least, to defend it.
Yeah, this tower is dead. It's a very nice move by Rift, at least for now. I don't see any way of Dire defing this tower.
It's funny that
Shaker...
this game, both offlane heroes are basically the carry with the CS.
Yeah, at least for now they are, yeah.
This is your kind of game, Kazu.
this is the shit I like. Nah, but this movement is really good from the mid player to top. I think it's also one of the most natural movements you have in Dota, at least in high level Dota. You move your strongest hero to your offlane to pressure the tower, and in the meantime one of your supports takes the mid lane. So they get some space, and maybe they get some levels for the outpost. Because honestly, the SF didn't lose much on this move. Like, his net worth is fine, but now they got some space top, they killed the tower, and his support was happy at the same time. Because he got some space mid, so it's nice movement by them.
Yeah, in terms of the levels, Shadow Fiend is about a half level, maybe a little bit more than the Storm Spirit, and KYXY is back into this mid lane to help the Shadow Fiend try to take this tower, but another fortification is used by IG, so they'll back off for now. JT does have Echo Slam available in this bot lane, but obviously no easy way to actually mobilize for it. He's going to get slept. Shadow Fiend with the raise. Might have to be careful here, though, because Kaka again with the TP. He's been very quick to TP to these towers.
Yeah, definitely. He's ready to help and smash the enemy.
And it looks like this tier 1 tower might be ripe for the picking on Reality Rift side.
I think this one they should look to defend. One TP would defend this tower. But it doesn't look like they're intending on doing that. For now.
Still has a little bit of HP to go. PL did get the Iron Talon. Not exactly the best tier 1 item, but you know, for a hero like PL that's going to be in the jungle a decent amount.
Yeah, I think he's going to be pretty happy. Because not only does it help you farm, he gets to sell his Quelling Blade now.
That's true.
Oh, 75
It's value gold.
It is. It's like nearly 2 CS.
And you lose net worth, which is exactly what you want. Shadow Fiend in the meantime, initiated on by the Tusk, will actually dodge the Requiem. It's going to hit a couple heroes on the backside as Alacrity. He's pretty fast, but I don't think he's going to be fast enough to get out of the death grip here from IG. And this is the 10-minute mark. Nuts? Oh my god. Is there any way? No, there's no way. He gets the bounty. Might be found here.
He saves them from losing 4 bounties.
What a good boy. Gets the Nightmare off and should be
He's
good
not
to
even
go.
dead. Well played.
If only he was level 6 right now.
If only.
So this is a trade of outposts, which has become a common occurrence in the pro games that I've watched, at least. Not too often you see them get both.
I think it's hard to take 2. You need to be really strong. You need to, first of all, you need to be stronger, and you need to place your heroes like very well. You need to have like a weak hero or just a solo hero that can take 1 alone, and then your other 4 heroes need to be on the other one that the enemy team is looking to contest.
Bottom lane, KYXY gets stunned by Ollie into the fissure.
Still skill ulti. Oh,
Yep, he still has his ult, but actually skills it after he dies.
He was like half a second late. He tried to like clutch it. Because, I mean, you don't really want to skill it, because if they ever harass you under 400, they can just force it from you. But, well, IG kind of abusing it, so kudos to them.
Yeah, very nice.
Swap stun
into
bottom.
a stun. Rubik does have telekinesis, and TP in the form of the Shadow Fiend is actually here. That's actually a pretty good trade for IG, forcing the SF here.
Definitely. He was like 10 mana short on Shaker. Soul Ring wasn't quite ready. But you don't need to kill heroes. They force TPs, so they should be more than happy with that.
Yeah, morphling into the jungle now. We'll see what the jungle items will be for each respective side. So still 1 to go from Reality Rift, it looks like. Gets the Ironwood tree, one of my favorites. The 4-second cooldown, I believe, on that tree.
Oh yeah, right. I never
Very
used
useful.
that tree.
I know, I never remember to use it either. Storm Spirit, accompanied by the Kaka Tusk. Actually, could
Rift
be
are
doing a little
looking
more
to
damage
smoke.
here, but
They're looking to smoke mid, but they actually smoked under a ward. Now they're also scanning just to have secure knowledge of where they're actually going. So IG are fully aware of where Reality Rift are moving right now. Also, something to note, he's going Yules on SF. I've seen this build a lot in my pubs. You get to Yule, Requiem, then of course they run away from you, so you get to like raise, hit, raise, and kill them. But I think it's not that easy to use this game. There's a lot of long-range cancels, like to stop SF from comboing.
Nuts getting initiated on after this smoke attempt. The ult does come out, but he's going to die shortly after, most likely. But the Requiem Soul actually saves him temporarily. Emo's going to jump back in. Finally, they'll find that Bane. It took a lot of resources to do so. 4 members of IG here as the swap will come. And this looks to be yet another kill. Alacrity actually manning up now that Kaka, or KYXY, is here on the Abaddon. And with that, I believe IG will retreat. But bottom lane, Earthshaker is just playing his own game. He's very close to Blink Dagger, so did not want to risk
IG
dying.
should be very happy with what just happened. They got 2 kills. Shaker, in the meantime, is getting to his like best peak in the early mid game, which is Blink, and he nearly forced his whole tower to die.
Well, the Nightmare is here for Nuts. Of course, JT knows that Fiend's Grip is down. KYXY, his ult is forced out in the top lane, but will be punched into the sky and drop to his eventual death.
Alright, if you're IG now, you're getting your Blink. You're gonna look to smoke up. And I mean, I think right now you have one of 2 objectives with this Blink reveal on Shaker. You either smoke around on the mid-tier 1 to force it, or you try to smoke into the PL. And I think right now with where PL is playing, that should be their smoke of choice. Because he's playing in a ward, so you can pretty nicely see him, or maybe guess where he's going to be later.
He actually actually double damage was picked up by Drew at half HP thanks to the initiation into the Echo Slam, into Enchant Totem, and the punch again. The rune, the greed killed the PL.
Yup, feels bad. Well,
and that's
you don't even have to
too.
smoke like this. Yeah, you just get the kill on PL without the smoke. Bye-bye, Bane.
How dare you. Bane has always lived every time we thought he was about to die. Gets the Nightmare off, Enchant Totem into the fissure. Bane, you can do it, Bane. Brain Sap keeps him healthy. TP supports anyone? No. His team finally let him die.
Save your Bane, guys. Get in there.
Very important. You know, one good piece of news for him is that he did get the Keen Optic, which is one of the better items for Bane, because once you get that level 10 talent, it's another 100 caster, and Shadow Fiend's going to initiate on the top lane. Magic Missile into the right clicks of Emo are more than enough to take him out. But I assume he's going to get Aether Lens at some point on this Bane, and once you do, With the
He will
talent
try.
and with keen optic. That's true.
He will try. Let's not get ahead of ourselves.
He's 2
He's
bracers
currently
away.
queuing
That's...
up. He's currently queuing 2 bracers and a smoke.
He's going to get the Van Brace. I'm pretty sure they're going to give it to Bane this game.
Oh,
Because
there
of-
we go. He's gonna win them the fight by tanking.
Exactly.
Also,
not?
one thing to note, I think PL got the best tier 2 item that you can get on the hero, which is Imp Claw.
Really?
Because every one of your illusions will crit
Oh.
on first hit.
Really?
Yes.
Wow. That seems like a bug.
No, I'm not sure. I mean,
I guess
think it
crit,
should probably work
crit
this way,
actually
yeah.
works, right? So,
Yeah.
very interesting.
So every time your illus hit, boom. Or like the first hit at least, you know?
Right. That's
And you
that's
have
really
a lot
cool.
of them, so yeah, it matters.
How late do you hold? How long do you hold that then?
Oh, I think you hold it quite long.
Tower is
Yeah, I was gonna say typically that's not an item you hold for that long on a lot of these heroes because they just end
Oh,
up buying
mid
stuff
lane.
that you need. Mid lane initiation again. Many stuns, not layered correctly at all, but it doesn't matter. They just want to blow him into the sky, and they do just that. Blow him into the sky. That did not come out right. But regardless, PL is dead again.
repeat myself.
Yeah. Not Dire is playing. They're playing well around their heroes right now. Shaker is definitely in the right position and the right time. First bottom, now mid. Good rotation. I mean, they don't get to tower, but they get to kill PL. And if you actually look at the net worth now, this... I'm surprised Morphling is top net worth. But his team's been playing well. He's 5-0. He seems to have recovered very well in this game.
Yeah. I mean, that was a rough laning stage. I mean, he did get the couple of kills that we talked about, but CS-wise, it was middle of the pack, if not like bottom 3, I want to say, for a certain portion of the game. There's the Van Brace. Unfortunately, it is on the other team's side. Maybe they'll gift it to Bane.
Give it to the
in
Bane.
Lower his net worth. It's to your
Oh,
advantage.
suddenly Morphling is behind the PL, boys. Good old Vambrace.
Yeah, that's a good item. I like
Yeah,
it.
he's got some good items. Morphling's gotta be one of the best carries to get this goddamn tree.
Yeah, that's true. Just pure stats. That's all you need on this hero.
Yeah.
Looks like he's going for the Lincolns, by the way. Just 400, 300 away right now.
I like it quite a lot. Once again, I'm not the best Morph player, but I do think that Lincoln's first tier is pretty good because it's gonna allow him to play very aggressive. Like, he can't get lifted by Rubik, he can't get gripped or slapped by Bane. And that's basically the only ways he's gonna die. He also can't get Requiem comboed by the SF, because of course he's gonna break it
Yeah, that's true.
with the
And
Lincolns.
we're seeing the Yules
So I
being
think-
used here. By the way, I wanted to talk about that Yules. As mid lane, looks like we're going to have another initiation this time on KYXY. They're going to force out that borrowed time and net him just to show them that they have the net item.
Has that
Very
true?
important. What do you think of... I don't know how viable this actually is, but I know some pro players have been
Abyssal
experimenting
Blade
with it.
SF?
I know, yeah, you know what I'm going to say. Abyssal Blade SF.
It's pretty good in the late game, I think, but you need to have a good game for it. But it is strong, yes.
Bottom tower is under attack.
All right, good to know. I'll be trying that out later, and I'll be posting
It's gonna be great
whether
for
it's
you.
successful and blame you if it does not go well. Tusk snowballs into the creeps. Fissure actually... Oh, it was stolen Fissure. And he's stuck between both. Neither team wanted him alive. So thus he will die.
Yeah, screw that guy. I think Dire IG should actually look to take a fight relatively soon. They should wait for Storm to purchase the Bloodstone, which he has the full money for, because right now, again, they have all their spells. They have Echo and Shaker. And most importantly, they have a DD Bloodstone on Storm. I'm
Yeah.
not sure you can get a much better combo, maybe Arcane Bloodstone. But they should feel really good about themselves right now and just try to look to take a fight somewhere.
You know, it's funny because Storm Spirit with Arcane Rune, double damage, and regeneration, as we're going to have to hold that thought, as Abaddon again initiated on. Does have borrowed
there's
time
the kill.
available. It will go off. Flying Company are completely surrounding him, and it's going to be an easy kill. It's funny that Storm Spirit is, at least for Arcane Rune and regen, the #1 hero in the game for both, right? Double damage, obviously you can pick a lot of heroes like Terrorblade,
This
for
is
example. or
Roshan,
Morphling.
actually.
Yeah, it's going to be easy Roche now. He will pop that the double damage. By the way, we didn't mention the Royal Jelly was on IG's side, thus they're winning. It's on Morphling and
It's
Storm
actually
Spirit.
it's actually pretty good, especially for Storm. I think Storm, Lesh, I think they're like one of the best heroes to carry it, at least from what I know.
And Storm, also the best Aegis carry in the entire game, picks up a regen. Everything's going the way of IG right now.
So like I said, first Aegis, IG will win this game.
Okay.
Very cool
I'll
statement.
hold you to that.
Yeah, he has Regen Rune, Bloodstone. Shaker is close to Shadowblade. I am a fan of this item in this game. It's gonna allow him to hunt both the PL and the SF around the map, which mid lane, some engage.
Jumping in again on KYXY, the Nightmare mitigating a little bit of damage. Storm Spirit lifted into the air. KYXY's ult finally goes off. Alacrity's as well into the trees, getting 3 heroes. Running away back to that tier 3 tower. And now JT in a horrible position as the Fiend's Grip used to basically full duration because he was just stuck out. And that's the beauty of the Requiem of Soul, if used in the right spot. Can really make a lot of space.
That was a very high skill Requiem usage, to be honest. He like kind of counter-initiated that fight, which is, I mean, it's still weird because he's Shadow Fiend, right? But that's just how the hero functions now. He had good positioning, he kind of like split up the whole fight. I think Shaker jumped in, and he ended up moving to the left because of the Requiem, and the other half of his team, they were all forced to like run back towards their base. So that was really good. I mean, Abaddon is probably not the target of choice behind that tier 1 tower. But Reality Rift were in the right spot, they used their spells well, and well, they get to kill Shaker, which is pretty nice.
Nuts. Well, he's dead. Plain and simple. Didn't have his bracer equipped, and thus he died. He would have lived with that, for sure.
Oh, he had the
100%.
Essence Ring, actually.
Yeah, he was just stun locked pretty much the whole time, it looks like.
Yeah. He's actually gonna be pretty tanky. This Essence Ring on supports can also make a huge difference. So I think next time the Storm jumps him, he should be a little careful. I actually see some turnaround potential with Bane right now when he has this bracer in the inventory and gets the Essence Ring off.
Yeah. Now that's the sucky thing. Every time you want to de-ward, you gotta put the ward, replace your bracer, which is your lifeline, almost.
Yeah.
And it's pretty risky. But I'm just waiting for the patch where you have the dedicated ward inventory slot, like in Han.
Yeah, Han had that. That will happen eventually with how Dota's working right now.
They
We all
can't
have our
make it
own
too
monkeys,
obvious.
so.
They can't make it too obvious because they're copying Han patch notes. They got to do it slowly so nobody catches on.
Yeah. Like two or 3 changes a year.
Yeah,
we're
exactly. In like 10 years, every hero is going to have a 1.0 turn rate. So just wait for it.
Just wait for it. Yeah.
Game's not dying, guys. Everything's fine.
What did I want to talk about? Yeah, Morphling's neutral items are on point as well.
Oh,
He
you got
did
another
give
one.
his tree
Nice.
away because he got the good old apple,
Okay.
which is also fairly good on this hero.
Yep, good strength,
Shaker's
good int.
Set up bottom with his Shadowblade right now. He has to be a little careful though. They need some TPs to back this up because they're next to the tower with the rest.
He gets the fissure into the blink, enchant totem. He could net him if he wants, and he does. Fiend's Grip is there at the emo for a little bit, but they're going to cancel it right away. Shadow Fiend getting a little bit low now, but remember, Storm Spirit does have the Aegis, does not care if he dies here. Bane will be the first to fall. Now KYXY making as much space as possible, still has his borrowed time. Sucker Punch onto JT, but that's going to be a second kill for IG here. And with that, Reality Rift needs to GTFO. But Alacrity didn't die, which is pretty surprising. That was nice, some nice saves.
Yeah, his team definitely came in clutch. Some shields, a good sleep by Nuts. I like the smoke quite a bit by IG. I would have liked it even more if they showed a hero on the map right now, because it's a bit late. Morphling didn't show on any of the waves bottom. I mean, actually nobody showed. So that makes it quite obvious that they are crossing the whole map. But they might find his PL up top, actually.
Yeah, Storm Spirit again being pesky. We'll probably try to use his Aegis. No, they're just going to kill PL instead. Why not?
Yeah. He's losing Aegis in 45 seconds.
Nightmare was
that's
applied
another
to
play.
Vengeful Spirit. A nice block here from the Tusk as KYXY is just completely stuck right now. And there's nobody coming to save you, my friend, as this is just turning into a one-sided game. We talked about this like 15 to 25 minute mark for Reality Rift, and it's not what we were expecting.
It's
or
not
hoping
happening
for.
right now.
Yeah.
Nope. Not at all.
So what do they need to do to get back into this game?
I think right now if you're Radiant, I would probably want to try to make space until your SF gets BKB. I think, like I mentioned earlier, I think it's too hard for him to get his combo off right now. When he has BKB, I mean, they can still do it, but it's a little less likely. Because both their supports, they can still own him when he's trying to BKB Requiem, but at least then they need to have really good positioning. Because right now he can get Fissured, he can get jumped by Storm, he can even get... Actually, every hero can cancel his combo right now. So I think it's a bit hard for him to use his hero properly. So I think you wait for Pipe on ABBA, you wait for BKB on SF, and then you want to try to fight in an area where you have a ward placed, and you wait for IG to run into you. Because I think right now they're too far behind to run into IG unless they know IG is split up.
We're seeing another enchanted quiver, by the way. I don't know if you caught that, but this has been a very popular item in the jungle today. The Shadow Fiend right now.
They can actually use it for now.
Yeah. I mean, it's just one of those items. You pick it up, you use it for 5 minutes, you're like, I'd rather have this item.
Please take this off me, someone.
Does anybody want this? Please.
Oh, there's an old nightmare that's gonna happen in this game. The Morphling's queuing up Ags. We're gonna see some more Shaker.
Oh, baby. I really missed that. Very excited. Of course, they
You're
did
not
nerf
alone.
the Earthshaker's Enchant Totem, being able to use that quickly. KYXY. Taking heavy damage, but he's pretty safe right now.
Hello,
Earthshaker in the meantime, though. Yeah, Nuts will try to deward. Oh, he didn't get it! Oh! Oh, he canceled it at the last moment. Poor guy.
Feels bad.
His death was in vain. KYXY getting pretty close to Pipe, but they have a lot more that they need at this point. Oh, they got a Titan Sliver, though. I didn't see that. Phantom Lancer, pretty solid item for him. Could be even more solid
Especially when you play against Earthshaker. Both status resistance and magic resistance is really nice for your hero. Because I think the best way for IG to deal with PL is, you try to Fissure, Echo, or just whatever. You just try to stun lock him with Shaker, basically. So it might actually make a difference. Oop, repair kit on Storm.
Oh boy! We're going to see a lot of that passive regen come into play, it looks like. As KYXY, as we've talked about before, he's dead. 0-6 right now, not having the... It's kind of weird, though, because typically if you see an Abaddon get off to a really good start, it feels like almost a... I don't want to call it a snowball hero, but it almost feels like that from the offlane position. And...
It certainly is a snowball hero. The problem is, I think that his cores, like, you're only as strong as your team will also allow you to be with most heroes, but especially Abaddon, because if you have a good game, you rely on your cores to also have. They need to at least have a mediocre game so that you can end up beating them.
All right, Shadow Fiend gets decimated with the Echo Slam being expended from JT. Seeing that massive 968 damage combo.
Damn.
Goodness. Single hero Echo Slam, but well worth it since it is a Shadow Fiend, of course.
Most certainly.
Now picks up the Orb of Destruction. They only have one melee hero, so I'm really interested what they do with this orb.
This is a Morphling orb for sure.
Okay. Just because he's hitting buildings a lot,
orb,
or?
right? Yeah, just because he's like the right clicker. I think he's gonna have to drop one of his items, which means he loses a bit of HP. But he's the one that's hitting buildings, and he can use it fairly well. I guess Shaker is fine, but they're giving it to Storm. I don't know, I think they're gonna end up handing it around this game. I don't really think they have like a clear boy.
Yeah.
You could even give it to Tusk at some point, because whichever you guys are going on, he'll probably go and punch that guy.
I'm really sad we're not going to see this passive repair kit come into effect.
I really love repair kits.
Null
See, now
Talisman
they gave it from Shaker to Storm, now Tusk has it, now it's back to Storm.
Ah, there we go. Excellent, excellent.
Yeah, they don't even know themselves.
What if you could use it on a creep, Kezu? If you're winning...
On a creep?
Yeah, you just use it on a creep. It attacks three times.
You wanna get rid of the item.
Ooh. Yeah, pretty much.
Oh, he's dead.
Yeah, PL dies very quickly, and the Bane follows suit. He can't live without his carry, so you might as well.
Yeah, he might as well go die with him.
And this game is just snowballing out of control right now.
Oh boy, someone's dying in base. It's gonna be Fissure, into double Superman jump in. Get ready.
Yeah, we do have the Ags on the Morphling, and that is a very... haven't actually seen a whole lot of the Enchant Totem Ags lately, but...
it's slower now, so you keep doing like loops or whatever it's called. It looks pretty funny.
It adds more spice to the game for sure. Enchant Totem into some more right clicks. There's double Fissure. Fly. He's going to waveform out, getting a little bit low. And the Vengeful Spirit will be caught in the wrong place. So that will be the first death for IG. And they're actually fake backing potentially because Echo Slam is available, but
This poor Venge. I would be a little upset if my team ditched me like that. I think they could have had a little more cojones here. But luckily, when you die with Venge, are you really dead? I'm not sure. Your Illu lives on, and you basically... The only thing you lose is your swap, kind of, and your wave, I guess. But the
All
aura
your
persists, so...
well, yeah. all
Yeah, well,
active
your
stuff.
aura stays, which is like
True,
the most
true.
important. At least for now. They're so far ahead, I think swaps aren't really necessary.
Is it a 25 talent still that you get to use the
That
spells?
you can use stuff?
Yeah. Man, if you can ever get 25 on bench, have fun. 'Cause
Yeah, just
is a lot
die.
of fun.
You're still playing the game, bro.
What if you could get XP from your illusion? Would that be OP?
Yes. Wait, you mean always or on 25?
No, always.
Yeah,
so you can
Jesus
get
Christ,
25.
please.
I just want to.
Don't apply for the balancing position in
I mean,
Dota, please.
that's an XP talent, essentially. Why not?
Yeah.
Without being an XP talent. All right, they're going to go for Roche, it looks like. There will be some defense here, though. That there's no real wombo combo is kind of the issue for Reality Rift. KOXA just casually runs in. We're going to see a fissure. Husk Snowball coming into play as well. Emo gets the stun off onto Nuts, who has the Ghost Scepter. Actually, it looks like he was E-bladed. He drops to the deck. We'll buy back into the game immediately. It looks like PL gets destroyed on the cliff, or on the high ground, I should say, is that he's going to buy back as well. And the pressure will continue as KYXY finally will use his borrowed time. And another Nightmare saving the Rubik for now, but the Bane will die back. He buys back in the game onto the Rubik. No one has even come close to dying on IG so far. They're continuing the chase. I mean, we've seen this Earthshaker Morphling combo before, and it is absolutely disgusting. But finally gets a little bit of damage onto the Morphling, trying to burn as much mana as possible. But that is a dieback on the PL, and we're probably going to see a GG here as IG takes this game in convincing fashion.
Yeah, IG played pretty well this game. I would say MVP Kaka for sure. Played really well. Starting from the early game with good rotations. Also, one thing I have to say, one of the most satisfying things to me in Dota is when you kill someone with E-Blade. Like, not E-Blade and Adaptive Strike, just E-Blade.
Yeah.
So satisfying to me.
Because it's almost like a one-shot, right?
Yeah.
A shotgun blast to the face. Well, that was, as you can see from the graph, actually, Reality Rift was technically winning at one point in the game. Barely.
Well, Dota sure thought so.
Yeah, it dropped off a cliff here for sure, though. And we'll see if, the hilarious thing is that if in game 3, IG bans all the heroes from this game now. Play on hard mode. You know?
I think you banned the heroes from game 1 again. I think you're good.
Yeah, that's probably what they'll do. So this, of course, is a best of 3, guys. So game 3 will be coming up shortly. Stay tuned. We shall return.